Welcome back, everybody. And today we have got, by your votes, the worst celebrity parents. Now, listen, this is a great week because almost 5,000 of you voted across my YouTube, Substack, and my Instagram at PFro on what you wanted to see. Celebrity parents, it is. Don't worry, we will get to those fake feminists because ooh, you know I cannot stand somebody who presents one way and is the complete opposite. So, all right, here we go. This week, Shaquille O'Neal, whom I love, explained why he considers himself a regular person and doesn't want to be placed in the celebrity category, unlike, everyone else. So he told the New York Post, excuse my French, celebrities are a-holes. And that he also said that he thinks celebrities are weird, rude, and obnoxious. And you know what? He is not wrong. But perhaps even worse is the fact that these weird, rude, obnoxious celebrities tend to raise weird, rude, obnoxious children. That's right. And then we all have to deal with them, don't we? Historically bad parents have included Ryan O'Neal, who allegedly subjected his kids to physical and emotional abuse, severe drug use, and also pretty much abandoned them. And we also have John Phillips of the Mamas and Papas, who, according to his daughter Mackenzie, whom I believe, forced a years-long incestuous relationship with her. Ooh. And there's always Joan Crawford, the queen of bad parents, she of the wire hangers. But what about the latest crop of overly woke, weird Hollywood parents? Now, let's be clear. I am not a fan of helicopter parenting, where a child's schedule is full from dusk till dawn and everything is arranged all around their schedules and them. It usually doesn't work out well and usually just infantilizes people who grow up thinking that everything should be done for them. I mean, just look at the millennials. But now we have a whole new set of parents who just want their kids to fulfill all their dreams at age 10. Because what the heck? Most 10-year-olds are like, hey, I'd like to be a ballerina. These are the kind of people who'd be like, fine, we got you a starring role in the American Ballet Theater. Or I want to be a firefighter. So they'd be like, great, you're head of the new firehouse. Oh my God. That's right. They want all their kids' dreams fulfilled, whether they deserve it or not. And maybe while their kids are being fulfilled, the parents can leave the house and leave them unsupervised for months at a time so that they can keep living out their own celebrity dreams. I mean, who cares if the kid can't drive? There's a driver. That's right. And in fact, there are all sorts of staff members to attend to their needs when their parents aren't around. Hungry? Call the chef. Need some entertaining? Or is there a temper tantrum being thrown? That's okay. There's the nanny who will take them shopping or dance for them or do whatever. Does the kid need to pass a test? Enter the tutor, who may or may not be able to take said test for them. Trust me, it happens. By the time these kids are out of diapers, they have their own credit cards, trust funds, designer closets, and access to anything their tiny little hearts desire. Ugh. All while their parents aren't around, because it's a new phenomenon I like to call free-range parenting. Free-range parenting is where one has a child that they may or may not have physically birthed. They all like to keep their figure. And their direct responsibility pretty much ends there because, let's be honest, they have their own careers to think about. That drives me nuts. And of course, their own egos. And often the child is a direct physical representation of the parent's own ego and narcissism. The celebrity is famous, talented, and worshipped by online millions and minions. And so rightfully, their children should be. Makes sense, doesn't it? Forget the fact that children need rules, a schedule, and actual friends who they might have things in common with, not friends who they have to pay. Now, I know this may sound odd coming from a woman, yours truly, who has no human children of her own. Of course, as you know, I have Doug, my fur baby. But that was by choice. I babysat my way through high school to help pay for college, where I was a nanny for all 4 years to pay the other bills. I am an aunt by blood and by choice to several children, most who are now adults. And I have seen firsthand what happens to children given free rein who never have to hear the word no and are coddled, spoiled, and given everything their little hearts desire instead of actually working for it. And it ain't pretty. Trust, the end result is just disastrous. While many of the parents on this list have indeed put their children to work, it is in their actual industry, not at home doing things like, I don't know, mowing the lawn or cleaning their room. Normal kid things. Never mind the fact that a child's actual job should be going to school or household chores, not earning a living or burnishing their parents' reputation. Many of these children grow up and become insufferable, childlike, grown-ass people. And trust me, I've had to deal with them all. And their parents fail at the most important job they had, which is to help their children become fully functional adults. Now, please note, in this show, I am not including influencers or reality show people, as frankly, if I did, we'd be here for the next week or two, just streaming straight. And I have a day job. I can't do that. Nor am I including people whose children may be in the industry, like Beyonce and Jay-Z or Pink, because yes, these parents may put their kids on the stage, but at the very least, they are on stage with them. They're with them backstage. They are under their guidance. And frankly, their kids also do, in fact, go to school, a real school. I'm also not including Jennifer Lopez, clearly not one of my personal favorites as a person, but both her kids, Max and Oscar, are, by all accounts, and I know several people who've said this, really nice people. And both actually graduated from an actual high school and are going off to great colleges in the fall. And frankly, there's a lot to be said for parental supervision and presence, even if it's in a spangly, skin-tight bodysuit. So I'm leaving them out. However, without further ado, here, in my humble opinion, are just a few of the celebrity parents who deserve their own spanking. Yes, if only they could be watching this right now. First up, we've got Travis Barker and Shanna Moakler. Now, they did divorce a while ago, and Travis is now with Kourtney Kardashian. But man, I'll tell you what, the Blink-182 drummer and his ex Shanna Moakler had a co-parenting situation that was so messy, it should have come with a hazmat suit. Their daughter, Alabama, who's only 20 now, was homeschooled for most of her education. And yes, those are air quotes, doing heavy lifting. So what is a homeschooled, unsupervised, extremely online celebrity kid grow up to be? Yes, that's right. An influencer and budding rapper, obviously. And this year, Alabama has been at the center of almost every internet feud with every random you can imagine. First of all, there was rapper Bad Baby, and I use that term rapper very, very loosely, who accused Alabama of stealing her boyfriend, the father of her child. Alabama fired back with some receipts, claiming the guy chased her for a year under a fake identity. Then it escalated into actual trading diss tracks. Overcooked versus Cry Baby. I mean, you literally can't make this up. These are real song titles by real adults fighting over a real sad sack of a man whom Judge Judy would have had a field day over. Now, meanwhile, then Alabama starred in a music video featuring vocals from Tory Lanez, the guy convicted of shooting Megan Thee Stallion. He's a stand-up dude. She seems to like him. And meanwhile, you just have to wonder, where the hell were mom and dad during all these formative years that led Alabama to make such interesting decisions with her life? I mean, come on. It's kind of sad. Well, Alabama and her brother Landon, who, I don't want to shock you here, is also a musician, fashion model, and influencer, because isn't everybody an influencer these days? Forget being a teacher, forget being a fireman, influencer, that's the way to go. They've both gone long stretches not speaking to Shanna, their mother, at all, and publicly calling her an absent mother, which left Travis as the primary caregiver. Of course, that's in between world tours and a years-long pill addiction he's talked about openly. That's awesome. That's the full-time dad. So no school, no mom, dad's on tour. God, that is a parenting recipe. Good job, Travis and Shanna. Ugh. All right, next up. I don't want to shock you guys, but this couple, that's right. It's Denise Richards and Charlie Sheen, the union that gave the world #winning. They have 2 daughters who, in my opinion, never really stood a chance at being normal or having a normal life. Sammy Sheen is only 22. She dropped out of high school at 16, citing mental health struggles and trouble with online schooling. What the hell? I mean, mental health troubles. This is something we're going to hear a lot about with all of these kids. It comes up over and over and over and over, and you have to wonder why. And of course, there's online schooling, and we saw what online schooling did in COVID, didn't we? It's when America fell several places behind most of Western countries because of the crapality of online schooling. Now, to Sammy's credit, she has said it was hard to even find a high school that would take her. Why? Well, it's because of things her father had publicly posted about her previous schools. It's nice, right? He goes on, slams her previous schools, and she used to try to go to another school. It's not happening. Dad's posting habits were so unhinged that the schools were turning away his child. Incredible work you did there, Charlie. Also, Charlie wasn't really around that often. So, of course, what did Sammy do the day she turned 18? Well, she took off her shirt and joined OnlyFans. Then came the plastic surgeries, plural. I mean, at some point, you almost feel like this girl got like a head and body transplant because she doesn't look anything like she used to be. But, God bless her. I suppose you're allowed to do that. She then, of course, starred in the family reality show Denise Richards and Her Wild Things. Now, meanwhile, not to be outdone by her own daughter, Denise Richards, the mature adult in the situation, then joined OnlyFans just months after Sammy and recently posted about her own facelift. I mean, nothing like a little parental competition to spice things up. Most mothers and daughters fight over the last word. These two are fighting over the same subscriber base on what is basically a porn site. Meanwhile, younger daughter Lola, 21, graduated the 8th grade virtually and is now a born-again Christian with her own podcast. God bless. I mean, honestly, in this house, finding Jesus might have been just the smartest move anyone could have made in that situation. So clap, 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 Lola. Woo! Yeah, you had the cards stacked against you hard. All right, well, up next, this one may shock a few people, but it's David and Victoria Beckham's dynastic dysfunction, which have made magazine and newspaper covers for decades now. It's like we can't escape them. Now, credit where it's due. All 4 kids were properly educated. 2 even went to prestigious boarding schools. Good job, guys. Good job. Yay. The bar is in hell, and they cleared it. That's right, they did. But in the house of Beckham, forget education. One thing always comes first, and that is the brand. My God, let's do a roll call of the kids. Brooklyn, 27, trained at the Arsenal Academy as a teen because he, wanted to be a soccer player like dad. Okay, fine. He then pivoted to modeling and then photography and is now a man who cooks on the internet. Yeah. He also hosts online tutorials and partners with global food brands. Why? I mean, who knows? It's all for a chef with no formal training or an actual restaurant. What a concept. Training or, I don't know, studying to be really good in the field that you love instead of, opening yourself up to be mocked by millions with really lousy food. Now, to be fair, he has also cut off his parents for commoditizing him since he was a child, which, fair enough, man. I hear you. I get it. He is now married to another billionaire's daughter, Nicola Peltz. She, the daughter of Nelson Peltz. And he's really just been like, I'm done. See you later. Goodbye, mom and dad. I've seen the light. See ya. Now, if only he would see the light and enroll in the Cordon Bleu. He's got the time and the money. I don't know why he doesn't bother actually going to be good at something he loves. That's all right. His younger brother, Romeo, who is 23, also tried to play professional soccer. Actually, I take it back. He did play professional soccer for a hot second, then hung up his cleats to become, yes, full-time runway model. In this land of Nepo babies, almost anyone can become a model. Look at Nicole Kidman's daughter. That was a little mean, but let's be real, shall we? Now, he has walked for Versace in Milan, not unlike Nicole Kidman's daughter. And he's now getting into acting because, of course, he is. That's what they all do, isn't it? They model, then they get into acting. Forget the fact that half of them can't even read. But that's all right. Now, meanwhile, Cruz, who's 21, went a different route. He's decided to be an indie rock musician and, of course, signed with Republic Records. Debuted an EP, had a UK tour, Lollapalooza, all that other stuff. And, of course, guitars sold separately. Good for him. But again, my God, it's all in the same vein. And then we get to the youngest child, Harper, the daughter, who is just 15 and already developing her own cosmetics company for Gen Z and Gen Alpha, inspired by what else? Viral Korean skincare trends. She's 15. What in the Sam hell does Harper know about skincare or developing skincare? Because they haven't even covered any of that in her chemistry classes yet. It's kind of nuts, but that doesn't matter. It doesn't stop the Beckhams. 4 kids, 4 industries, 1 family logo on everything, because in the Beckham house, you're not raised, you're launched. And I don't know, instead of having a quinceañera, Harper gets a brand. Yay! All right, now we come to Will and Jada Pinkett Smith. I got a lot to say because where do I even start with this insanely insufferable couple? In 2008, Will and Jada founded their own private school because, of course, they know better than everyone else and every other school around because they are just that in tune and down with it. Their school was the New Village Leadership Academy in Calabasas. It had things like robotics and yoga and karate, study tech, educational concepts. It closed in 2013 due to a lack of funding because apparently even Will Smith couldn't keep vibes-based education afloat. Willow, meanwhile, that's all right. She later tried 1 year of regular school, one. And her review, it was, and I quote, the best experience, but the worst experience because I was so depressed. Here we go. Sound familiar? Yeah. Depressed. So instead of telling their daughter to do what everyone else does, tough it out, or I don't know, go to therapy, she was allowed to leave. Totally normal way to raise a child, and also legal, I guess. It's a totally normal parenting decision, of course, because when Willow was 10 years old, 10, not even gone through puberty yet, she had already had a single called Whip My Hair, and writing the success of said single, she was sent out on tour with Justin Bieber. I don't know how people weren't furious about this. She's later talked about it, and she said she was overwhelmed and freaked out. And in Dublin, Willow, still freaked out, told her daddy Will that she wanted to quit. She was done. She didn't like it. She was overwhelmed. She was freaked out, as a 10-year-old on their own might be, playing to a gazillion screaming fans. FYI. Will's advice to this 10-year-old, finish your commitments. Okay, now let's be clear. This is not a commitment to show up and read to nursing home people like I did when I was a kid. This is not a commitment to mow your neighbor's lawn. No, this was a commitment to stay on an international tour and be objectified by thousands of screaming fans. That's right. Meanwhile, it's also a commitment that, frankly, she wasn't even old enough to legally agree to. This is a commitment her dad kind of got her into, you know? So anyway, the next morning, this 10-year-old child smartly shaved her head completely bald because it was literally the only power she had left to make that tour stop. And with a bald head, she was then released from said tour because, you know, didn't look good. They didn't want a bald child on the tour. It looks weird for them, right? Years later, on her mother's talk show, you know, Red Table Talk, which I could get into, but I shall not, Willow revealed that after the tour, she spiraled into a severe mental health crisis, describing being plunged into a black hole that included self-harm at 10 years old. Meanwhile, her brother Jaden has also been open about his own struggles with depression, anxiety, isolation, and as an adult, and by that we mean an 18-year-old, turned to supervised psychedelic therapy to deal with it. Instead of, I don't know, talk therapy? What? Or Prozac? I don't know. That's all right. Just go straight to the mushrooms, kid. I mean, this is also a guy who went viral telling everyone to drop out of school because who needs school when your parents hand you a career? I mean, since he was a child, he has tried acting. Daddy put him in all his movies, music, and is now somehow, with no training whatsoever, no schooling, the creative director of Christian Louboutin, which has gotten him mocked internationally. In my mind, rightfully so. All you have to do is look at some of his, frankly, lousy derivative designs. And while the international mocking has probably made him depressed, frankly, if you're gonna go there, you gotta deal with it and deal with it in a really healthy way instead of just asking for more. The constant pivot at the age of 22 or whatever the hell he is now. Meanwhile, through it all, Will and Jada stayed laser focused on the important things: their careers, their books, their brands, and their famously open, weird-ass marriage. To them, I say, good job, guys. Great. You raised two kids who clearly needed real parents back in the day. Then we come to Kanye and Kim, because where in the world are Kanye and Kim? Their daughter, Northwest, just turned 13. And for the last year, has been showing up in our Instagram feeds across the internet on magazine posts, looking like what I like to call a 39-year-old bodega worker cosplaying as a Harajuku girl. It's not what a 11, 12, 13-year-old girl should be looking like, okay? She's been wearing micro minis, high heels, corsets when she was 11 and 12. Corsets and piercings all over her body, including face and hands. It's just, she was 10, 11, 12. She's now just turned 13. That's all right. Put her to work, right? I mean, she's appeared rapping with her father. Yeah. And dropped her first album at 12. It was a six-track EP featuring her solo single, Piercing on My Hand. She also has a single called Die. Yeah. Nope. No mental problems there. No one needs to see a therapist. Look the other way. Don't look here. It's fine. This August, she's co-headlining a multi-city tour with rapper Molly Santana in Dallas, New York, Philly, and Boston, Toronto, Chicago, LA. That's okay. LA's home. I'm sure her parents will be there. It's all fun times because that is the way a child should spend a summer vacation. Forget camp. Who needs camp? Who needs to bond with children your own age and make real friends from different backgrounds and different parts of the country? Ha! Fools. No, you go on tour and you just get your butt licked by tons of adults who are not your parents. I mean, come on, man. She's 13. She can't even drive to the venue. She can't sign her own contracts. It's ridiculous, but sure. Go ahead, girlfriend. Headline a national tour. And the whole packaging of this child. Again, the piercings, the corsets, the micro minis, the wigs. I mean, this is a look that would have raised eyebrows on a grown woman. And had I tried it at home, I would have been thrown into, I don't know, grounded jail for 6 months at minimum. Aunt D would have locked the door, called my mom, who would have put on 4 more locks. And yeah, no, it's insane. This all has been signed off on for a middle schooler. It's just not even in high school, man. What parent looks at their tween and says, yes. This scanty Harajuku look? Yes, perfect. Ship it. Sign off on it. It's perfect. And by the way, where are the parents while their 13-year-old works the road like a Vegas headliner? Well, let me tell you, Kanye will be on his own tour in Portugal and Kazakhstan, naturally. 2 places you just think of immediately. And Kim, in between flying around to parties, wedding, and functions all across the globe, and of course we then see it on her Instagram, Kim is busy shilling things, constantly shilling things, like her new energy drink. Caffeine-free functional beverage brand, whatever the hell that is. Plus Skims, Skin, Sky, all of these horribly named brands where literally it's just like vowels are fully optional because it's not cool anymore to have vowels, right? I mean, at this point, the woman has more companies than children and more companies than her daughter and her other kids combined. And speaking of which, in case you were confused, North does indeed have 3 other siblings. There are 4 kids in total. But then again, Kim and Kanye don't really talk about them. So do they even exist? They've never talked about the other kids. It's all been North. Now, the good news is North does actually attend school, Sierra Canyon, which is a private school in LA, and clearly doesn't have a dress code. So God bless North, man. I wish you all the well. I wish you all well, all of the kids. But I wish you all the luck in the world because frankly, honey, you're going to need it. It's a lot. It's a lot. I mean, all of those kids, frankly, need it. It's like nobody thinks about their kids. They just think about their bank account. I mean, we just went through 5 families with all the money, all the staff, and all the access in the world. And not one of them figured out that the only job that actually mattered is being a parent. Because the chef, the driver, the nanny, and the tutor can indeed do a lot for a child, except the one thing a kid actually needs, which is a parent, somebody who shows up, loves them unconditionally without a paycheck, and somebody who actually has boundaries and said no just once in their life, just once. Says no. And now I get it. Kids throw tantrums. But here's the deal. Kids actually need and like boundaries. In my experience, yeah, they'll throw a fit, but I want this, I want that. Guess what? It shows that you love them, that you're looking out for them, that you care for them, and that you're doing it on the daily. Something that these parents don't quite get. Their mind's somewhere else. They're like, well, we or that surrogate gave birth to you, and now you have life. You're welcome. Now let's go earn. Let's go live. Let's go see you later. It's just so bizarre. And while they all have these stunning careers and huge fat bank accounts, they don't have an iota of sense when it comes to parenting. And these kids are just kind of screwed because of it. It drives me nuts. All right, drop your nominees of anyone I might have missed in the comments because, frankly, let's be honest, this could have been a top 50 instead of just a top 5. And always hit like, subscribe, ring that bell because unlike these parents, I show up every single week for VU. And remember to go to my community page where this week we will not only vote on the Icky Awards coming up right before the Emmys that you can't buy, you actually have to vote, and they're actually earned. Well, you'll also get to decide my next video. A choice between why there are so many trans kids in Hollywood, or the last option, fake feminists. I can't wait to see what you decide. Big kiss and lots of love from me and this guy, Dougal. As you might know him, Turd Bird. All right. Mwah. Have a wonderful week. I will see you guys soon.